Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhakti Nashtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 8, text number 39 onwards. Maitreya Vacha iti udahritam akaranya Bhagwan Naradastada Pritaha Pratyahatam Balam Sadvakyam Anukampya. The sage Maitreya continued, the great personality Narad Muni, upon hearing the words of Dhruv Maharaj, became very compassionate towards him. And in order to show him his causeless mercy, he gave him the following expert advice. Since the great sage Narad is the foremost spiritual master, naturally his only activity is to bestow the greatest benefit upon whomever he meets. Dhruv Maharaj, however, was a child, and so his demand was also that of a playful child. Still, the great sage became compassionate towards him, and for his welfare, he spoke the following verses. So, Dhruv Maharaj wanted a kingdom better than even Lord Brahma. And here in the words, another thing that to notice is, Maitreya said, Bhagwan Naradastada. He's calling Narad Muni as Bhagwan. Bhagwan Narad. So people who don't understand exactly what the import is, the meaning is, they can start claiming that, oh, everybody is Bhagwan, Naradi is Bhagwan. See, it's mentioned in Bhagavatam. Even Lord Shiva is considered as Bhagwan. It is mentioned some places. But here, Maitreya Muni is calling him Bhagwan because he is going to bestow the greatest causeless mercy on Dhruv Maharaj. Nobody can bestow better mercy than Krishna, but Narad Muni, being representative of Krishna, being the spiritual master, he is going on behalf of Krishna, he is going to bestow the greatest mercy. So that is why here Maitreya Muni called him Bhagwan. And what is a mercy? And one mercy was, or could be, that Narad Muni is quite capable of doing it, but he could have just given him the kingdom better than Brahma. But he didn't do that. He acted as a spiritual master of Dhruv Maharaj. He told him the way how to get it, how to please the Supreme Lord and how to get whatever he wants. He didn't just give him the kingdom. Dhruv Maharaj wanted the kingdom. Narad Muni showed him the way. That is the job of a guru. And Narad Muni showed him the way and then tell him how to do austerities, what austerities to perform. Why the austerities? Why the way? Because first Dhruv Maharaj has to be purified. He has to become eligible for that benediction that he is asking for. And Narad Muni gave him the greatest benefit. The greatest benefit was he showed him the path of devotion service. By that path, seeing Dhruv Maharaj's determination, Narad Muni knew that he will please the Supreme Lord. And when he pleases the Supreme Lord, he will not even want to have the material benediction that he is asking for. But Narad Muni thought, right now he is not ready to listen to me, because previous verses we saw that. But he liked his quality of determination. So many things combined. So spiritual master like Narad Muni is so expert that he knows how to engage the disciple in the service of Krishna. Which way I have to create to make him follow the path by his, then he will follow willingly, because that's his quality that he wants to exploit. Just like for Valmiki, Narad Muni did not tell him do any other things. He said, just chant Rama. He said, I cannot chant Rama. Okay, just chant Mara, Mara, Mara. That's an expert, spiritual master. That's why Narad Muni is a spiritual master of the whole universe. He knows how to engage a disciple or engage a follower. Like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a story of Mrigari, or a hunter. Narad Muni just told him, don't kill. Now what to do if I don't kill? Okay, just sit in the hut, do your bhajan, and I'll send everything, whatever your maintenance is, I'll make arrangements. So different disciples, different paths, goal is the same, purification. Howsoever I can purify this person. That's why Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his bhajan, and that's what we sing every morning, is Nikunja Yuno Ratikeli Siddhyai Ya Yali Bheri Yukti Sapekshaniya Tatrati Daksha Tativallabhasya Vande Guru Shri Charana. Tatrati Daksha, he's very daksha, he's very expert in engaging his disciples in the service of Radha and Krishna. Although he himself is from that group, Nikunja Yuno. Nikunj means serving Radha and Krishna in the kunjas. And he's very expertly engaging his disciples, his followers in the service of Radha and Krishna. That is spiritual master. Vande Guru Shri Charana Arvindam. I worship the lotus feet of that Guru. So that is Narad Muni. And this is what Srila Prabhupada's mode was. Somebody was expert in painting, so he taught him how to paint. And then the disciples produced wonderful paintings of Radha and Krishna, wonderful paintings of spiritual world, Vrindavan. Somebody was expert in book distribution, somebody was expert in kirtan leading, somebody was expert in pujari services, so in accounting, so in writing books, or whichever. Somebody was expert in management, Prabhupada engaged him in management. That was Prabhupada. That's why he was so expert. He engaged everybody according to their taste. And then everybody is still following him, serving him. Text 40. Narada Vacha Jananya Vihita Pantha Savai Nishreya Sasyate Bhagwan Vasudevastam Bhajtam Pramanatmana. The great sage Narad told Dhruv Maharaj, the instruction given by your mother Suniti to follow the path of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead is just suitable for you. You should therefore completely absorb yourself in the devotional service of the Lord. Dhruv Maharaj's demand was to achieve an abode even greater than Lord Brahma's. Within this universe, Lord Brahma is supposed to be in the most exalted position, for he is the chief of all demigods. But Dhruv Maharaj wanted a realm beyond this. Therefore, his desire was not to be fulfilled by worshipping any demigod. As described in Bhagavad Gita, the benedictions offered by the demigods are all temporary. And moreover, demigods, they couldn't have given him anything better than Brahmaloka. They're all under Lord Brahma's jurisdiction. So whatever benediction any demigod could have given, it wouldn't have gone beyond Brahmaloka, so there was no way. Even Brahmaji could have fulfilled his desire. Therefore, Narad Muni asked Dhruv Maharaj to follow the path recommended by his mother to worship Krishna or Vasudeva. When Krishna offers anything, it is beyond the expectation of the devotee. Both Suniti and Narad Muni knew that the demand of Dhruv Maharaj was impossible for any demigod to fulfill, and therefore both of them recommended following the process of devotion service to Lord Krishna. Narad Muni is referred to here as Bhagwan because he can bless any person just as the Supreme Personality of Godhead can. He was very pleased with Dhruv Maharaj. He could have at once personally given whatever he wanted, but that's not the duty of the spiritual master. His duty is to engage the disciple in proper devotional service as prescribed in the Shastras. Krishna was similarly present before Arjuna, and even though he could have given him all facilities for victory over the opposing party without a fight, he did not do so. Instead, he asked Arjuna to fight. In the same way, Narad Muni asked Dhruv Maharaj to undergo devotional discipline in order to achieve the desired result. See, Prabhupada says the same thing. Then he mentions about Arjuna. Arjuna was also lamenting. He did not want to fight. Krishna could have made arrangement. Okay, Arjuna, you just sit in the chariot. I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I can kill everybody. And he showed him also in the universal form how everybody is dying. But still, Arjuna had to fight. Arjuna had to do his duty. He had to perform his duty. So, same way, Narad Muni could have given Dhruv Maharaj the kingdom that he wanted, but he didn't. He wanted Dhruv Maharaj to undergo devotional discipline in order to achieve the desired result. So this devotional discipline, the austerities he performed, that was to purify him, to make him eligible for that kingdom that he wanted. So similarly, in our case, every purport actually should start this FM radio in our heart. WIIFM means what's in it for me. So we've been also performing or trying to perform actually the devotion service, chanting, hearing, and other what else. So basically, by performing this devotion service slowly, it depends how earnestly we are performing, our heart starts getting cleansed for all the material desires. We all have material desires, whether we admit it or not, we have. So heart starts getting cleansed. And then what happens? Some material desires might get fulfilled by the mercy of Krishna. Some of them will never get fulfilled. Whatever depends upon Krishna, that nobody else can decide that. But what happens, even the desires get fulfilled, we are starting to develop a desire to serve Krishna regardless, whether the desire gets fulfilled or not. We are starting to develop this desire that I want to serve Krishna. And slowly, Krishna will make sure that we get completely detached. It can happen in one lifetime or it will happen in 10 lifetimes, I don't know. Completely detached from the material world, because the attachment will be completely towards Krishna. Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna Katha, Krishna Seva, Krishna Puja, Krishna's Naam. It's not going to be artificial. It's going to be natural, because it is a natural position of the soul. So that natural position will come out slowly. And then the material desires will just go away. And even if Krishna gives millions and millions of dollars, it hardly matters. We'll use it in service of Krishna. So that's his plan. This is what he's going to do. It just all depends when we are ready, when we become qualified. Text 41. Dharma artha kama mokshakhyam yaiche chveya atmanah ekam hyeva harestatra karanam pada sevanam. Any person who desires the fruits of the four principles of religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and at the end, liberation, should engage himself in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For worshipping of his lotus feet yields the fulfillment of all of this. So in bhakti, bhakti, mukti, jnana, everything is hidden in bhakti. That's why it's Bhagavatam, everywhere the stress is on bhakti. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that only with the sanction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can the demigods offer benedictions. Therefore, whenever any sacrifice is offered to a demigod, the Supreme Lord in the form of Narayan Shila or Shaligram Shila is put forward to observe the sacrifice. Or if Shaligram Shila is not there, then at any yajna, you must have seen, they make some kind of pot, they keep a copper pot or silver pot, and on that they put nariyal and put roli, moli around it. So that represents Vishnu. Actually, so the Vishnu has to be there in any yajna because ultimately he is the one who's going to give the benedictions. Actually, the demigods cannot give any benediction without the sanction of the Supreme Lord. Narad Muni therefore advised that even for religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, or liberation, one should approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, offer prayers, and ask for the fulfillment of one's desire at the lotus feet of the Lord. That is real intelligence. An intelligent person never goes to demigods to pray for anything. He goes directly to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the cause of all benedictions. So here Narad Muni is taking Dhruva Maharaj directly to the Supreme Lord. As Lord Shri Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, performance of ritualistic ceremonies is not actually religion. The real path of religion is to surrender at the lotus feet of the Lord. For one who is actually surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord, there is no question of any separate endeavor for economic development. A devotee engaged in service to the Lord is not disappointed in the satisfaction of his senses. If he wants to satisfy his senses, Krishna fulfills that desire. As far as liberation is concerned, any devotee fully engaged in the service of the Lord is already liberated. Therefore, there is no separate necessity for his liberation. See? So he is already, no separate endeavor is required for economic development, which Krishna will take care of it. And liberation, any devotee is engaged in the service of the Lord is already liberated because he is not at all entangled in the material, karmic, material activities. So that he is already liberated. So that is the benefit of performing devotional service. Narad Muni therefore advised Dhruva Maharaj to take shelter of Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, and engage himself in the way that his mother had advised, for that would help him fulfill his desire. In this verse, Narad Muni has especially stressed the devotional service of the Lord as the only way. In other words, even if one is full of material desires, he can continue his devotional service to the Lord, and all his desires will be fulfilled. Now, again, it's not like we start having newer and newer desires because we think Krishna is just going to fulfill all my desires. all his desires will be fulfilled depending upon the Lord. To what extent he wants to fulfill the desires, to when he wants to fulfill, how he wants to fulfill, where he wants to fulfill, that's up to Krishna. And we cannot control Krishna, no. So I have chanted that many rounds and you have to give me 1 crore rupees now. No, it's not going to happen that way. It's all up to Krishna. But one desire that definitely will be fulfilled is Krishna engaging us more and more in the devotional service. Obviously, until we commit offenses, that's a different story. Tat tat gach bhatram te yamnaya statam shuchi punyam madhu vanam yatra sanidhyam nityada hare. My dear boy, I therefore wish all good fortune for you. You should go to the bank of the Yamuna where there is a virtuous forest named Madhuvan and there be purified. Just by going there, one draws nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead who always lives there. So Narad Muni sent him to the banks of Yamuna and the forest of Madhuvan. And that is the forest, one of the forests of Brajmandal. Both Narad Muni and Suniti, the mother of Dhruv Maharaj, advised Dhruv Maharaj to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now Narad Muni is especially giving him directions how this worship of the Supreme Person can very quickly fructify. He recommends that Dhruv Maharaj goes to the bank of Yamuna, where there is a forest of the name Madhuvan, and begin his meditation and worship there. Place of pilgrimage yield a special advantage for a devotee in quickly advancing his spiritual life. Lord Krishna lives everywhere, but still it is very easy to approach him in holy places of pilgrimage because these places are inhabited by great sages. So these places, when we go to, like there's so many places, we should go there with a mood of service, mood of I want to purify myself so that Krishna accepts me. Srimati Radharani engages me in her service. And the purification comes by service, whether we do devotional service in the terms of chanting of the holy names, or we do parikrama, or we go and meet sadhus and listen to them, learn from them. We serve Brajvasis. There's so many ways we can perform, render service. But the idea behind places of pilgrimage is to render service. That's the whole idea. Not to go there for enjoy with the enjoyment spirit. Lord Shri Krishna says that he lives wherever his devotees are chanting the glories of his transcendental activities. There are many places of pilgrimage in India, and especially prominent are Badrinarayan or Badrikashram, Dwarka, Rameshwar and Jagannath Puri. These sacred places are called the four Dhamas. Dhama refers to a place where one can immediately contact the Supreme Lord. To go to Badrinarayan, one has to pass through Haridwar on the path to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, there are other holy places of pilgrimage such as Prayag and Mathura, and the topmost of them all is Vrindavan. Unless one is very advanced in spiritual life, it is recommended that he live in such holy places and execute devotional service there. But an advanced devotee like Narad Muni, who is engaged in preaching work, can serve the Supreme Lord anywhere. Sometimes he even goes to the hellish planets. Hellish conditions do not affect Narad Muni because he is engaged in greatly responsible activities in devotional service. According to the statement of Narad Muni, Madhuvan, which is still existing in the Vrindavan area in the district of Mathura, is a most sacred place. Many saintly persons still live there and engage in devotional service to the Lord. So So Prabhupada is mentioning about so many places are there, and they are. Prabhupada didn't mention all of them. Ayodhya is there, other places are there. So one should go to all these places, or any of these places. And for Narad Muni, Prabhupada says, advanced devotee like Narad Muni, he doesn't need to go. Because wherever he is, that place becomes the place of pilgrimage. There's a verse in the beginning of Bhagavatam where when Vidurji comes back to Hastinapur after the war, Yudhishthira Maharaj welcomes him and he says, Tirthi kurvanti tirthani swantasthin gadabrita. You go to all places of pilgrimage to purify them because you're always carrying Gadabrita, the holder of Gada in your heart. Another beautiful pastime relating to all the places of pilgrimage. See, Narad Muni himself, he wants to glorify Vrindavan. So once he went to Prayagraj, and Prayagraj is called the king of all the holy places. And he said, he praised Prayagraj, he glorified him. And then he said, okay, Prayagraj, you're the king of all the places of pilgrimage. So why don't you call all of them? And I want to see all of them at one place. So Prayagraj, by that time, because he was glorified by Narad Muni so much, he just became very puffed up, and he called everybody. And all of them came. And then Narad Muni went to him again. Prayagraj, I see all the places, but I don't see Vrindavan. How come? Then Prayagraj got little upset. Yes, how come Vrindavan didn't appear? So he went to Krishna complaining that, what is this? You made me the king of holy places and Vrindavan doesn't listen to me. He didn't come when I called him. So Krishna chastised him a little. He said, I made you king of the holy places, but I didn't make you king of my home. Vrindavan is my home. You cannot claim me to king of my home. So then Prayagraj understood his mistake. Of course, this is the way Narad Muni wants us to learn the lesson, wants everybody to learn their lesson properly. So Vrindavan, obviously, Vrindavan has a special position. That's the house of the Lord, where Krishna is always there. There are 12 forests in Vrindavan, and Madhuvan is one of them. Pilgrims from all parts of India assemble together and visit all 12 of these forests. There are 5 forests on the eastern bank of the Yamuna: Bhadravan, Belvan, Lohuvan, Bandirvan, and Mahavan. So Mahavan is where Gokul is there. Gokul is in Mahavan. On the western bank, on the western side of the bank, there are 7: Madhuvan, Talvan, Kumadvan, Bahulavan, Kamyavan, Khadirvan, and Vrindavan. So sometimes Vrindavan is considered that part, that place, Vrindavan, what we see these days. And Vrindavan is sometimes called, the whole Braj is also called Vrindavan. In those 12 forests, there are different ghats or bathing places. They are listed as follows: Avimukta, Adiroda, Guya Tirtha, Prayag Tirtha, Kankhal, Tinduk Tirtha, Surya Tirtha, Vatswami, Dhruv Ghat, where there are many nice trees of fruits and flowers, is famous because Dhruv Maharaj meditated and underwent severe penances and austerities. There is an elevated spot. Rishi Tirtha, Moksha Tirtha, Buddha Tirtha, Gokarna, Krishna Ganga, Vaikuntha, Ashikunda, Chatus Samudrika Kupa, Akrura Tirtha. When Krishna and Balram were going to Mathura, in the chariot driven by Akrura, all of them took baths in this ghat. So this is the ghat Niyamna on the way from Vrindavan to Mathura. Yagik, Viprasthan, Kubja Kupa, Rangasthal, Manchasthal, Malya Yuddhasthan. and the Shashwamedh Ghat. Even I haven't visited all of them. So Malay Yuddhasthan is where Krishna and Kansa had arranged for the wrestling arena, and that's where Krishna and Balram came and he killed so many different wrestlers, and afterwards they killed Kansa, or Krishna killed Kansa. So beautiful, beautiful places. There's so many places in Braj for us to visit, and where we can visit and where we can always remember Krishna. That Krishna did this pastime here, that pastime there. And that's why it's called Braj. You know, Braj means the people just keep on walking. Braj means jana, where people go, walk. So they keep on walking. Sadhus keep on walking. They go from one place to another. Sometimes they're in Govardhan, sometimes they go to Nandagaon, Barsana, then Gokul and Raval, and there are tons of places. And that's why it's the most sacred place. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you were saying WIIF. The voice got dim.
WIIFM.
FM. What is it?
Yeah. Just like any radio stations these days, no? They have this 98.3 FM or this FM, that FM. So in devotional service, we say it's WIIFM. What's in it for me? इसमें मेरे लिए क्या है? How to understand
that? Okay. Actually, your voice got dim, so I just couldn't understand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Okay, so I guess we can stop here. You all have a wonderful and safe day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.